Hi, welcome to the Oliver Fetter YouTube channel. Today I'm working on Jacob's Delica L300 4D56 turbo diesel, and he's having me rebuild the engine, which means we gotta do step 0 first, which is pull the engine. Let's have a look. I got it all ready to go. It's actually already off of the mounts on both sides, and everything is separated. It should really be coming out shortly. I think it's still stuck on the transmission, so I'm gonna get the pry bar in there and see what happens. Hopefully it's somewhat well balanced, and I'm kind of taking it out the wrong side. It should really be coming out this side, but we parked the van against the curb, so it's just gonna have to work, I guess. Fingers crossed there's actually enough space to get it out, and that's kind of why I'm using the whole ratchet straps and stuff. You really only get as much vertical as that doorway in terms of height, including the lift and everything, so really gotta kind of budget the vertical space aspect while pulling this engine. Okay, gonna get a pry bar in there and go to town. I have the transmission supported with a jack, and otherwise we should be about there. Okay, it's actually coming out. Two things: the torque converter snout is really long, so it was getting stuck on that. You have to be careful. It has to go forward a lot, but you also have to get off the engine mounts. And then there was a sneaky ground cable that was connected still. Otherwise, I think I'm totally free, so famous last words. But otherwise it kind of looks like it's gonna go out the door. It's gonna have to twist for sure. And kind of as you can see, it just barely fits without taking the condenser out. It seems like it's gonna go. I gotta get it twisted, and I gotta get it just a little higher if I can to come out. Okay, and now I got it turned. It is gonna clear the steering wheel, so for the record, you could pull it either way. It was very close. I feel like taking that seat all the way off would have been helpful just now, but it still went. But it also doesn't have the head on, which saves you quite a bit of space. So we're doing good on vertical space. It's gonna come right out. But when I go back in, I might need to take the whole door off the engine bay so that there's room for the head. Alternatively, could take the crank pulley, tensioner, and AC compressor off before you install it, and that would also probably give you enough room, but these things are kind of hard to put on in the car. So I think, just don't know how you get to the damn hinges, but should probably figure out how to take this off when I go to put the motor back in. Okay, and it is out of the car and in my garage, which kind of sucks because there's that driveway to push it up. But I did it, and now it's in here. I stripped the, whatever you want to call it, flywheel. It's not a flywheel, but we're going to call it a flywheel. Flex plate. I stripped the flex plate and the rear main seal and the rear like flex transmission stabilizing plate thing all off because they're hard to get to once you put it on the stand. And other than that, it's just waiting to be torn down. Pretty cool. Okay, I'm in the process of tearing this thing down now. I got the fuel pump off, AC off, brackets off, water pump off, front pulleys off. Kind of getting down to it. I think next is oil pan, and then this front seal set. And I mean, that's most of it. Then I'll pull the pistons out of it. Number one is what's low compression and having a problem. It has a ton of slop, so be curious to see if it's big end or little end that's having a problem. And then just kind of taking stuff off and labeling it as I go so I don't forget. And I took the fuel pump off with this bracket, but that may or may not be the play because it kind of has like a oil seal too, so might not assemble it like that, but just keeping things organized as we go. Okay, we got the oil pan off. There's definitely I'm not actually sure what this is. It's like paint? Or like plastic? Kind of feels plasticky. Something disintegrated and fell into the bottom of the oil pan. See, it's like, I don't know what that is. But there's a bunch of it in there. And it just kind of fell out because it's upside down. There's another piece of it. Don't know. No real surprises here. So, just gonna keep going. Okay, rods are out. Rods and pistons. So, as we can see here, the problem with this engine was indeed that there's just no bearing left on this first rod. Here they are. Again, literally just gone. Not even like a hint of a bearing compared to this is what it should look like. This one was pretty scored. And this one was also pretty scored, so either got really contaminated or really hot or it lost oil pressure or all the above. Otherwise, you know, doesn't look as bad as you might think. I know these aren't maybe bulletproof rods, but they actually look reasonably strong. I would bet these rods hold up to a reasonable amount of boost. Okay, now we're just about fully stripped down. For those of you wondering if these have oil squirters, it sure does. There they are. Couple of oil squirters. Let's take a look at the bearings. Some scoring, some scoring, some scoring, some scoring, some scoring. So, I mean, every bearing in this motor had some contamination, basically. If you look at the crank, the journals actually look like the main bearing journals actually look okay. I imagine the bearings themselves probably took all the scoring, and these journals look like they would polish just fine. And all the rod journals look fine except obviously this one. So this is the main concern out of the entire engine. I cleaned the piston skirts. Personally, I don't think I would reuse those. They look like these last two seem okay, but this first one looks not so okay. And obviously that first rod bearing was totally messed up. So I did check. They're all standard bearings, which means this hasn't been rebuilt before. No surprise there. So probably worth measuring this diameter and seeing how much less it is than what it should be. So just using some basic calipers, the rod journals on the crank are right around 53 millimeters even, maybe just shy of that. And this one's closer to 54, so it actually is kind of, I think the bearing material is kind of smeared onto it currently. So that's good because it's not so worn. Basically means hopefully it can be cleaned up. Maybe we can use standard bearings, but I imagine at least the rods are going to need a grind and need to go up a size. This is inside the oil pump. I actually just pulled this apart and cleaned it, but it's just two gears that sit in here, and honestly, without measuring a tolerance or anything, that looks fine to me. I mean, there's a little bit of surface scoring, but nothing that means it won't work with some lubrication. And I put a little bit of oil in there when I reassemble it. Front seal definitely needs done, so this will probably come back apart. Also, weirdly enough, here's the balance shaft, the lower one, and it's actually geared. I don't know why they did that. It's kind of funny. But, yeah, it's meshed in with this guy. Kind of interesting. Okay, so there you have it. That's the full carnage. Cleaned up some of the gasket material, but otherwise we're kind of ready to go. Not so bad. Okay, and this is what the head looks like after I cleaned it up. No cracks around the valves. No cracks around the pre-combustion chambers. So in my mind, the head looks pretty good. And I pulled the camshaft just to see. Whoops. But the journals look good to me, so I don't think the head really needs much attention. Probably just like valve stem seals and injector washers. The number 1 and number 4 both were kind of sooty in terms of some exhaust getting past the end of the injector. So I'm going to pop test these and see if they're any good. And that will tend to conclude teardown and evaluation. Okay, this is the first injector. I already tried it. It pops around 120. Right around 120 bar. Cool. Looks great. Next injector. Also around 120. Also good spray pattern. Well, this one's not quite as good. Yeah, that one's a little. This one's great. This is how injectors should be. Also pops just a little shy of 120, but tick, 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 tick. Nice. Very nice. This one's kind of meh. So it also pops at 120, but it kind of has a bit of a. I mean, it's alright. Has a teeny bit of a dribble to it. Yeah, like once in a while it will kind of spray a little weird. Not stoked, so that might need cleaned. Okay, so that concludes this teardown video. Basically took a look at everything I would want to take a look at and have an understanding of kind of how all the surfaces are and what needs worked on. The crank journals need polished. The rod journals need work. It probably needs honed or bored. It needs at least 1 new piston. It needs at least 1 new rod. It needs new rings. It needs the injectors serviced. Probably needs valve seals. Yeah, that's kind of the major stuff. Other than that, it's gaskets and kind of putting it back together. So that's how it turned out. We'll have more videos as I continue the work and it goes back together. Thanks for watching.